What if one simple bonus could double your opt in rate and build a list of prospective buyers before the cart even opens? In today's episode, I'm going to share a powerful strategy from a $5.7 million affiliate launch. This is a strategy that helped dozens of affiliates stand out from the crowd, grow their list, and convert at higher rates. It's time to talk about opt in bonuses that actually work. If you're ready to take your affiliate program and your business to the next level, well, you're in the right place. I'm Matt McWilliams, best-selling author and four-time affiliate manager of the year, and I've built dozens of affiliate programs from the ground up to over $1 million a month. I'm here to show you how you can do it too. Let's get started. Hey, so welcome back. This is part 3 of this special series where we're breaking down this $5.7 million affiliate launch that we ran a few years ago. And today's episode's a special one. I'm actually opening the vault, so to speak, sharing this private training that I originally created just for our affiliates. I talked about it in episode 1 of this 7-part series, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to include this actual, actually include the training. And so it's a little bit different. It's about how to use opt-in bonuses to grow your email list before a launch even begins. And it's different in that this is the training that I actually did for affiliates. So there's a little bit of Q&A, there's a little bit of back and forth with me and some affiliates, and you get access to that. We kind of cropped off like the first, 4 or 5 minutes where I talked about the promo calendar for the affiliates, and because you don't need to know what the dates were and all that stuff. And then there's a little bit of stuff at the end where I just talk about like further instructions for them in terms of the launch itself. But the middle, 30, 40 minutes or so, you're getting access to all of that. And this is a strategy that helped a bunch of our partners get new subscribers, warm them up, and then ultimately convert at ridiculously high rates once the cart open. This is the whole point. So whether you're an affiliate looking to stand out, or maybe you're an affiliate manager who want to teach your partners something that actually worked, this episode is for you. Quick reminder, the first 2 parts of the recap, again, this is a 7-part series, they're a recap of what we did during the launch. So those are the behind the scenes stuff, the lessons we learned and all that. So if you missed parts 1 and 2, go back and listen. I shared the behind the scenes, kind of how we ran the whole launch and closed strong on cart close day. Then we got the special bonus episode. That's part 3 today, where we're going to talk about opt-in bonuses. And then finally, the last 4 episodes after this are interviews with some of the affiliates who absolutely crushed it in this promo. We've got an interview with the top affiliate, I think the number 2 or number 3 affiliate, another affiliate who snuck in the top 10 and like had no business being in the top 10, but the things that she did were absolutely amazing to do that. And then an affiliate who finished, like 17th, 18th place, made over $20,000, but again, had no business being up there. And so some of you small affiliates or affiliate managers who want to help your small affiliates, those are the 2 episodes to listen to. So we got a variety of episodes there with these interviews, and they are absolutely awesome. So with that said, let's jump into today's bonus lesson about these opt-in bonuses. The number one strategy that is I very rarely see people using, I would say less than, so we followed almost every one of the top 50 last year in Tribe. Um, quite frankly, because we were competing against them and I wanted to steal their stuff. I think 2 other people did this. But I'm telling you, it is the single best way to get more opt-ins and create massive engagement with your audience, is to offer an opt-in bonus. Okay. So what makes a good opt-in bonus? A good opt-in bonus is not $1,000 bonus package. Okay. It is not 7 things. It's not, like this massive thing, right? An opt-in bonus is super simple. It's when you opt into the Tribe workshop, you get to join my private Facebook group, which we'll talk about later. Okay. Or when you opt into the Tribe workshop, I'm going to give you this $17 ebook. Okay. Or I'm going to share my notes from each day of the workshop. Courtney just said she was just listening to a podcast episode, and I talked about that specifically. It's just some sort of a small bonus. It does not have to be this mega thing, right? It is something super simple. And so what I would love for you guys to, I'm gonna share a couple of other just ideas. And then in a moment, I love you to take this sheet, type in some ideas, but also put them in the chat. Or if you have a question about them, just jump on and ask me the question. I just want to spend, 5 or 6 minutes kind of like throwing out ideas at each other for opt-in bonuses so that someone who's on this or watching the replay and they're struggling with it, like I can't think of anything, everything I have is either too expensive or it's just not, because it still needs to be like attractive, right? And you can't think of something, then maybe they'll get inspired by that. Some other ideas are a template. It could be. I'll give you an example with with the FML. With the Find a Member launch. Give them your email templates from your founding member launch. Like here are the 5 emails we sent promoting our founding member, or 2, or 1, or whatever. That's a bonus. What's the value of that? I don't know. $27. What would you sell it for? $25? It doesn't have to be like this massive thing. When we do this, ours is actually very, very, very simple. We give them a PDF of all of the emails that we used when we launched our membership site. We just copied and pasted them from ConvertKit. And I think we cleaned it up so that the URLs didn't work because they go to a dead page now. That was it. Like that's all we did. When you opt in for this workshop, and then there's like an 8-minute video. I do an 8-minute run through. That's a little bit long. I mean, it's like 15 minutes. I do an 8-minute, 15-minute, whatever run through where it's just me on the it's just me doing a screencast, walking through. Hey, we sent this email. Here's who we sent it to. Here's why I said, use this language, blah, 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 kind of breaking down the email from a strategic standpoint. Then we sent to these people, boom, boom, boom. That's it. And so let's see here. Let me pull up in the chat. So, Russ says, I have a mini course I plan to offer. Yeah, mini courses are really good. We have a $37 mini course that we've used as a bonus a couple of times for opting into stuff. Manu, that does, like somebody else said, kind of seems like that might be more for buying the course, but yeah, the 8-day Instagram campaign. Let's see, Russ, yeah, called Testimonials That Work. It's about a very specific thing. So the concept is still the same when we think about a bonus. It either makes it easier or faster to implement what the workshop is about, or it fills a gap. And so a good example of filling the gap would be if you have, let me think here. Let's say your entire audience is oh gosh, I'm trying to think of a good one. Homeschool moms. See where I can go with that. Okay, so the gap you're going to fill, Stu has some homeschool moms. Clearly, there's probably at least one on here. Raise your hand if you're homeschool mom. I can't raise my hand. That's bad. Homeschool dad though, which basically means I do nothing and my wife does all the teaching. And then like once every month when she wants to sleep in, I teach them something for 20 minutes and talk about it on Facebook for a week endlessly, as though I'm like a hero. That's how that works. Okay, so homeschool moms, right? Then the bonus would be something like how to run a membership site and how to create the content when you're a busy homeschool mom. That's not something Stu's going to offer, but it fills that gap. There's something there, right? Find that thing, that's like just that like slight, it's that missing piece that's specific to your audience and how to apply the workshop to them. And again, it can be as simple as, ours is like a 3-page PDF of email copy. It could be that you'll share your notes. That's one of my favorite ones. Which the bonus is at the end of every session, the next day, I'm just going to send you my typed up notes. And it's like they get access to your brain power on that, which is kind of cool. So, any others? Like anybody want to just jump on and say something they're thinking about or have a question about this? pretty simple. Yep. To Courtney, to be create, you don't have to create your own opt-in, but you will. So I'm going to address Courtney's thing because I think you were the one that said you listened to my podcast episode. So if somebody has that link available, I don't know what it is. It was like episode 420, I think. So I might know the link. Let me look it up real quick. Says the guy who doesn't know how to access his own website. Nope. I think it's 419. Okay. So I'll drop this episode link here. Nope, that's not it either. 0 for 2. This is compelling video right now.
Matt, I sent the link to the chat because I was just
cool. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So what that was specifically for, Courtney, is if you're running ads to target people, you don't know. So let me back up. If somebody clicks on your email to the Tribe Workshop and they opt in, and we'll have about an 80% opt-in rate. So most people that click are going to opt in. You know who's opted in pretty much. Okay. If they opt in through an ad or through a social media post and they're not on your list, legally we cannot say, here, Courtney, here's all the people, because they didn't opt into your list. So what you do, and you guys can listen to the podcast episode to get like all the details, but you'll create what's known as a bridge page. They'll come to that bridge page, opt in through you, and then you'll you'll send them to the Tribe Workshop. And there's a whole process. I think there's a sheet too. Go to the link, and there's a link to grab the sheet, the PDF that my team put together. I think it's pretty simple. I haven't seen it. I whiteboarded it. Just full disclosure, I whiteboarded it and they made it, and I think it's pretty because everything they create is pretty. Okay, so that answers your question, Courtney. You don't have to do that if you're sending them. If you're sending this to your email list, send them directly to the workshop, and just tell them when you opt in, I'm going to give you this bonus, and I'm going to talk about how to get them to do that in just a second, Courtney. I'll go through that in just a moment. Let's see. Offering a help call once a month. So I'm not talking about the experience, Jacqueline. That's going to be next week's session. I'm talking about specifically an opt-in bonus. So any other questions on this? I think it's pretty straightforward. What I'd love you to do, like I said, brainstorm some ideas, put them in that box there or wherever, and you can continue to share your ideas in the chat. And as I see them, I might say some of them out loud, so people who are watching this later will grab those, and they don't have to, scroll through the chat. But any other questions or thoughts on that before I talk about how to deliver that bonus the super easy way?
Just a quick question: if
Yeah,
they're on our list and we send them directly to opt-in, the assumption is if they click the link, that's who we're tagging.
yes, but not who gets the bonus. Let me tell you. So I'll talk about that. That actually leads right into how to deliver your bonus. Here's what I do to deliver the bonuses. This worked really well. I want to give credit where credit is due, and I'm 80% sure I stole this from Jonathan Milligan like 7 years ago. I saw him doing this, was like, oh my gosh, that is brilliant. I'm almost positive it was him. I'll have to ask him. So what I do is in this email, I'll say something along the lines of like, Stu's starting his Tribe Workshop. It's going to be amazing, yada, yada. When you register, just for the free workshop, when you register for the free workshop, I will send you this. To get it, I just want you to forward your confirmation email. You're going to get a confirmation email from Stu saying you're registered. Now, what is that doing? That's actually making sure they have to go open the email from Stu. It's an incentive for them not to just delete that email. Okay? They have to go check that email from Stu. Well, that email has all the goodies, like the calendar reminder to add the workshop to their calendar. It has, it gets them getting Stu's emails. It triggers, in Gmail. If you open an email from Stu, he's more likely to end up in your inbox, not your promotions tab. So all these good things are happening, and we're conditioning our audience to do that, right? It's a little ninja trick. But what we say is forward the email from Stu, the confirmation email, forward it to tribe@mattmcwilliams.com. When they do that, we just set up, I what are they called in Gmail? Auto reply, I think, or it's like a rule. I think they're called rules. We set up a rule. Tribe at mattmcwilliams.com actually doesn't exist. But so it goes to our support email, but you can tell Gmail, and guys, I promise this is super easy if you just Google it, how to set up a rule in Gmail. Any email that goes to tribe at mattmcwilliams.com gets an auto reply. And it just basically says, hey, thanks for opting in to Stu's, workshop. You're going to love it. We then remind them to put it on their calendar. Even though Stu did, it's another reminder. Make sure you put it on your calendar. Yada yada. I got so much. I went through it last year. I got so much out of it. Like we're selling the workshop again. Here are your bonuses. Here are your bonuses or bonus, and then it's just a link to the PDF. So the cool thing is you do a little bit of work on the front end, and then you don't have to keep keep actually setting up, or replying to emails. You could manually reply to them if you really wanted to. I just don't want to do that. So to answer Courtney's question, how do you set up a dummy email? What we did on our end is if you type in anything at mattmcwilliams.com that doesn't actually exist. So we got 7 names and then support. Those, I think we have 8 emails that actually exist. 9. We have 9 emails that actually exist. Everything else just goes to the support email. So for instance, we tell our students, if you send, if our no product, no problem students, np at mattmcwilliams.com. All that does is star it for priority response. It just, we've created a rule that stars that email. So our support team knows when they go in, let's look for the starred emails first. Same with LLA at mattmcwilliams.com or FAN, for Find Affiliates Now. Tribe at mattmcwilliams.com does not exist, but we can tell it what to do with that. And in this case, it would be an auto response. I do put at the end of that auto responder, I do put something that says, FYI, this was an auto response email. So if you asked a question or had any other comment, or something like that, please send a separate email to Matt at mattmcwilliams.com. So we do put that at the end of that email so they don't think Matt's kind of a jerk. I sent him an email and sent him my receipt and asked him a question or complimented him on his, his post on Facebook or, whatever. And then he doesn't even respond to me about that. That's kind of a jerk thing. No, we cover that at the end of the email. So, so that's how you deliver these bonuses, these opt-in bonuses. We'll talk about next week about how to deliver the $2,000 course bonuses. That's also really easy to do, but you do want to do a little bit more white glove with that. So that's number 1 is come up with an opt-in bonus. Again, super inexpensive. Doesn't have to be this grand thing like your bonus package will be for the course sales. Did that all make sense, guys? Go back for the 8 of you I see on video. No, 10. You're nodding heads. Good. Basically, everyone else, if you're not on video, the people who are on video, they represent you. So if I see them all nodding their head, you're totally out of luck. Just picking on you guys. All right. So create a Facebook group. All right. Again, this is all about when I think about promoting things as an affiliate, and I'm going to send a certain number of people to this workshop. How do I create a level of engagement and excitement with them that is they're already going to be super excited? Stu, you guys know he's going to massively deliver. He is going to rock the house. The chat is going to be just if you guys know how it is. The chat is just stupid. It is so engaged. It's absolutely insane. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Well, why don't we just take it up a little bit more and create kind of that we're all in the same boat. So again, let's just go back to the example. My audience is homeschool moms. Just for record, my audience is not homeschool moms. I know that totally surprises every single one of you. Oh, wow, I totally thought he was a homeschool mom. I'm not. But if my audience is homeschool moms, and let's just say I have a couple thousand homeschool moms on my audience, we're all homeschool moms. And now I'm going to create a Facebook group for homeschool moms that are going through the tribe workshop. We're all speaking the same language. We all have similar struggles, similar, obstacles, and probably similar questions. And we're now like, it's a homogenous group, right? And that's actually good for this. This is good to have a homogenous group when we're going through a similar experience together. And so that's super awesome. So we create this Facebook group, and it's a private Facebook group for people who are going through our, through our affiliate link through the tribe workshop. They get that link in the email. Remember, they forwarded there. So even if this is the only bonus you offer, then you say, hey, when you join the workshop, forward your email to tribe@yourdomain.com or whatever. It could be, here's another easy way to do it. If you can't figure out the thing I just said, forward your email to me. Well, guess what? You know what the subject line is going to be, because it'll be the same subject line you got when you signed up for the workshop. And now you can just say all emails with this subject line reply with this message. You could tell them, again, and if you just manually process someone, because some of them might forward the email but put in the, change the subject line, and then you'll have to manually process those if you use that. Some of them might forward it. We probably will get 3 people out of hundreds who will forward the email, and instead of tribe, they'll type in turb, or they'll leave off the E in tribe, and we have to just manually process those. It takes 30 seconds. It's not a big deal. So I got a question from Heidi Easley. I think she asked yesterday, and I responded to her today, about naming the Facebook group. And I gave her kind of my formula for naming Facebook groups. It is redonkulously simple, because I like to keep things simple. The big thing is, don't get creative. Now is not the time. If you have homeschool moms going through tribe workshop, don't name it like the super awesome club of rockstar moms. What the heck is that? What does that even mean? Okay, okay, we've identified they're homeschool moms and they're super awesome, but like, what is it about? So the simple formula is audience who want to, and then what they want to do. So I give some examples in that worksheet. Bloggers who want to create recurring revenue. If you find this group, this is the other thing. When they find the group, you say, did you register for the tribe workshop? If so, put in your email. If not, go to, and you create a URL. So mattmcwilliams.com/tribe workshop that redirects to your affiliate link. Join there, and you might actually catch some people. Like, just, you get free opt-ins at that point for doing nothing other than creating a Facebook group. Hint, hint. If you do this, you'll get a lot of those. It's actually a really cool strategy. But again, bloggers who want to create recurring revenue. What's this group about? Bloggers who want to create recurring revenue. Gym owners who want to start an online platform, or gym owners who want to start name something, online business. Platform may not even be the word. Gym owners who want to start an online business. You will attract, newsflash, gym owners who want to start an online business. Like, super easy, right? That's the formula. It is just name the audience, the people. I think Heidi's I was like, artists who want to teach online or something, like I told her that. I was like, it's your audience who want to, and then this is the result they want to achieve. So it could be just about anything. Tie it back to tribe workshop, of course, but in her case, it was a little bit broader. And then the tribe workshop is kind of the way that you get to that. So, yeah, Courtney, is it a no-no to put something about tribe? So here's another way to name this. If you don't really want to come up with something like that, you're not trying to attract anybody out, it's just a bonus. You could literally call it like Courtney Lynn fans who are going through the tribe workshop, or tribe workshop, Stu McLaren's tribe workshop brought to you by Courtney Lynn, or something like that. It could be like really simple. It could be very, very simple. Let's just see a couple questions. You suggest sending people to the group now, but then opening or starting the group right before the workshop. I think I'm going to kind of address that when I talk about engagement here in just a second, because the answer depends on how much work you want to put in and how much you want to engage them beforehand. So you totally could create that group now, Corey. Um, and yeah, and get them kind of like starting to think about it and reminding them that it starts on April 22nd. This starts on April 22nd. You could totally start a group. Now the key is you got to make sure like these all have to, people have to be on the same path. So they need to get registered for the, the tribe workshop, which right now they would just get on the wait list, which is totally cool. So if they register for the wait list, that's totally fine. So think about that. Write out your group name. Come up with a cool group name. You don't have to start a Facebook group, just FYI. I hear that a lot. Well, Matt said start a Facebook group. Well, what if you don't like Facebook? Well, then don't do a Facebook group. I did that with a coaching client earlier. She's like, I don't like having 8 meetings in one day. I'm worn out at the end of the day. I'm like, well, then don't have 8 meetings in one day. Just do them over the course of 2 days. Oh, I can do that? Yeah, but you said to batch, not if you don't like it, So just because I say like do this doesn't mean you have to do it. Just FYI, if Facebook is not your thing, if it's not like if you don't feel comfortable on Facebook, you will suck at doing a Facebook group. Okay, there's a reason why I hire people to do Facebook groups because I suck at doing Facebook groups. If you're not comfortable doing it, then don't do it. You'll be better off focusing your efforts on other things. Do Slack like Manu said. You could start a Voxer group. Doesn't matter to me, but the principles apply. What if you already have a free Facebook group? No, I would create a specific one for people who are going through the tribe workshop. That's the key here, Lisa. Promote the tribe workshop and your bonus of getting this other Facebook group. That way, the thing you want in this group, Lisa, this is the key. You want to be able to go, I was thinking of a phrase that's not exactly the most appropriate phrase. Let me come up with something different. You want to go all out. You just want to go all out. Like you want to be able to be in there 3 times a day once the workshop starts, asking what was their favorite takeaway. Asking, what's the biggest lesson they learned? Okay, like starting a thread where you share your favorite quote from the thing. You want people posting in there, and it's all about the tribe workshop. It's all about founding member launches. It's all about like, oh my gosh, when Stu said that, I got goosebumps. I started crying. And then you don't want half the people in the group going, what the heck are they even talking about? And why are they all talking about this? Because it'll hurt that group. It'll actually hurt that group, meaning your other free group, Lisa, because now they feel like in a bad way, they feel like they're kind of left out. Oh, all you're talking about is tribe for the next 2.5 weeks. I'm not in that. I'm just going to leave this group. We don't want to make people go for the nuclear option. So, okay, let me make sure I didn't miss any questions. Catherine, I am wearing that shirt. All your excuses are lies. That's what my shirt says, Catherine. Sorry. So cool. That made sense. Yeah. Biggest advantage of Facebook is most people are there. Yep, absolutely. I get sucked into the vortex all the time. I go to Facebook to take a screenshot of something said on, somebody said about me on Facebook. And the next thing I know, I'm responding to a Facebook thread about something that my cousin posted. And then I'm responding to 17 comments in that thread. That's you know what? It's a heck of a business model they've got there. I don't know about you, but I get sucked into the vortex at least once a week, and I'm usually annoyed by it. So come up with a group name. Then you want to engage the members. Okay. 5 very simple things you can do. And most of you probably know more about Facebook engagement than I do. That's why I did not write these 5 things, because I left these to my team to tell me what to post. Quotes from that day. Guys, if you haven't used Canva, you've all heard of it, right? Our graphic designer, who makes a lot of money, uses Canva. And he does a great job. But I can do really cool stuff in Canva if I want to. It is super easy. You literally take an image of Stu, or don't even do Canva. Just do like something and just post your big takeaway from Stu. But I would literally I would have Stu face and then a blue background and then a quote. And then the next time I'd have a different Stu face and a red background and a quote, something that I got from, from that day. Um, Leading up to the workshop for that engagement, absolutely, you're allowed to use pictures of Stu, Crystal. Here, I'll drop a link in the folder. You guys got this in another place, but I just texted it to Heath earlier. So I will drop this, and then this message will self-destruct. No. This message is for Robbie on our team. Robbie, when you watch this video, can you post that below this video when you put this on the replay page? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, and then there's a Facebook thread in the group, in the partners group of Stuisms. I don't know, like 40 or 50 quotes in there that are all over the place. We talked about that last week, so I won't go into depth on that. But just take an image of Stu. Here's my favorite quote from the workshop today. In the days leading up to the workshop, it could just be some of those other quotes, and it's like Stu says, I'm just making something up. I don't know if he actually said that. No, like Stu says, the more money you make, the more impact you can have. Agree or disagree? That's a good Facebook post, right? Stu says that, such and such. What's your opinion of this? Or how do you feel about that? What's your number one obstacle to creating recurring revenue? So quotes, what you're excited about. What you're excited about is a good one. Hey guys, day one of the workshop's coming up, and Stu's going to cover this. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. Hey guys, this is coming up, and Stu's going to talk about this. It's going to be amazing, right? Stories. Like you guys all probably know somebody. If you don't, go read through the Facebook group. Find, you probably have tons of stories from last year that you remember. Just tell a story. Just literally just be on there and be like, hey, my friend Courtney, she's, I don't know what you do, Courtney, but she does such and such. She started a membership site because of Stu's training, and here's the results that she got. Boom, boom, boom. Start seeding, especially after like the first day of the workshop. So going into the workshop, it's all about the workshop. It's all about the workshop. After day one is all about the second day. But after that second day, start seeding tribe. Okay. And start telling stories of people who took the next step. Start telling the stories of people who bought the course and got these results. That's kind of that strategy outline there for stories. Sharing nuggets of the lessons or a reinterpretation of a lesson. I probably should have put that on there. I'm actually going to do that. The cool thing about using this sheet is I can just reinterpret a lesson. Haha, I finally added one myself. Gimme. So what I mean by so a nugget of a lesson is very simple. Here's what Stu said. I liked it, or here's what Stu said. Here's how I applied it. A reinterpretation of a lesson is, here's what that means for my specific audience of pet influencers, for Courtney. Here's what that means for stay-at-home moms. Here's what that means for stay-at-home dads. Here's what that means for corporate CEOs. Whoever your audience is, you take what he said and then interpret it for your audience of people who are thinking about creating a membership site. So if you're going to create a membership site about this, here's what that means. Manu says, if anyone needs a story, I'm your girl. I went from 30K to 160K in my membership. Holy freaking crap. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, boom. I'm assuming that's dollars, not members, because you have 160,000 members. Okay. I just like, oh, wow. I mean, that's still absolutely amazing. Please don't misunderstand me. But I took that as members, and I'm like, dang, you had 30,000 members before Tribe. What the heck? Questions. Yeah, it's true. If I wouldn't be here, if it was 160,000 members, unless they only paid like $1 a month, then you might still be here, right? Yeah, so questions, just what was your biggest takeaway from today? There's one. Okay, the next morning, hey, it's the day after the first day, and yesterday you learned this. What are you going to do today about it? What are you going to do with what you got today? Ask a question if they have any questions. Do you have any questions about day one? Do you have any questions about what Stu covered yesterday? I'll answer them as best I can. Here's the other thing I didn't talk about, the reason why I like this. I love the Facebook group. Please, this is not a knock on the Facebook group that'll get created as a part of the workshop. But you guys know how absolutely insane that place can get. Your people might feel like they are getting lost. But so in your Facebook group, let's go high. Let's go. So you have a medium to high audience, and you'll get 1,000 opt-ins. It's pretty big. Like 1,000 opt-ins would put you 10th place, 12th place on the leaderboard, ish, give or take. I mean, you're gonna be one of the top 10 or 12 affiliates. Okay. So let's go 500. You're gonna be a top 40 affiliate, 500 opt-ins. Only 360 of them are going to register for the Facebook group. They're one of 360. If you only have 100, it might only be one of 100 people in your Facebook group with direct access to you. You can reply to 100 people or 360 people. Because they're not all going to be messaging you. You can reply to that in 10 minutes a day. You can manage that in 10 minutes a day, maybe 15. If you're trying to find your people in the main Facebook group, it's like trying to find a needle in a stack of needles. It's going to be a disaster, right? And then they feel lost. It's a great place. It's a great place. Please don't misunderstand me. That's awesome. This is a supplement to that. This is the more intimate, slightly more chill, less getting 84 updates from Facebook a day group. And there's almost no risk of them leaving because they're overwhelmed and they're still getting the value. Okay, so that's the beauty of that. So when you ask a question, some number of people will respond instead of 4,000, and it's more manageable. And so I want you to write out your engagement strategy. Just think about, what are you going to do? It doesn't have to be to the minute, but I'm going to post a quote every morning or every day, middle of the afternoon, whatever. I'm going to reinterpret a specific part of the lesson as it pertains to my audience. Maybe the day after each of the workshop days. I'm going to share what I'm excited about the day before. I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to tell these 5 stories over the course of, maybe like one before the workshop, one, the day before day 2, one the day before day 3, and start seeding tribe, share some nuggets. I'm going to ask a question every day, and you just come up with it's just a basic plan that you can follow, that you can, and if you have a random thing, like, I want to ask this question, it's Tuesday afternoon, and I just want to ask this question, go right ahead. But if you come up with at least 1.5 things per day, now that you can plan, it'll be easy to run. So typically, I know we meet as a team and we just plan these out. We come up with like 1 or 2 a day, and then we're done. So how many total days is Tribe the course or the launch, Eric? Manu asks, if I missed anything, guys, just retype it. Sorry. Do you recommend a page on our website with the rules for the opt-in bonus and a link to sign up and maybe the other freebie links, or is it better to pull it all in emails? I think I sort of understand the question, Manu. I don't like pages with rules. It's kind of a deterrent. I just make this, we just keep this simple. So, but if I'm not mistaken, if you're replying in the email and you're sending them to get something. So if I'm sending them to a PDF, what I'll do, I didn't cover this. I should have covered this in the last thing. I do create a very simple template. If I didn't have so much stuff on my whiteboard already, I would write it up there. But it's a very simple template. It has like the tribe logo and says, welcome to my tribe workshop bonus page. And then I put a 2-sentence description of what they're like. Here's your PDF of my, these are the emails that I used to promote Affiliate Insider Monthly when we did our founding member launch. Click here to get them. I do put on there the calendar links again. I'm looking, everything I do, I'm looking for, how can I get 2% more? How can I get 2% more? How can if I get 400 people to register for the workshop, how can I get 5 more just to show up live? Just 5 more. But if I get 5 more from the email and then 5 more from the page and then 5 more from the next thing and 5 more from the Facebook group, I just added 20 people that are showing up live. Not, like we're not just little things, right? So I do put the calendar things on there. I put links to the Facebook group on there as well. So anything you can put on that page is super helpful. And I think hopefully that answered your question, but they came from email. Sherry, do we avoid talking about tribe course during and before the workshop? Yeah. I don't talk a lot about it up until about the second day, or until after the second day of the workshop. I'm focused on the workshop, the workshop, the workshop, free, 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 value, 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 right? What I do is very subtly seed that there's a paid course. Like I said, using stories. I'll mention that we've been through his course. We are a student of Stu's. I'll say little things like that that make you go, "Oh, there's a course, right?" And also, most people, they're not stupid, and they kind of know. And yeah, I mean, to Garth's point, Stu will present the course, but we do want to start to seed it a little bit and just get them thinking about that. Because what starts happening after the second day, this is kind of if you actually study the psychology, and man, I would love if I could ever get somebody to like actually really, really study this. This is one of those like I need Robert Cialdini to do like a massive 50,000 person study and like probably cost me about $2 million. But I have a hunch based on studying these things over the years that what happens after the second day is they realize there's only one more day left. And people are going to fall into one of three camps. Camp number one is I'm overwhelmed and I'm like, I need to start implementing this. Okay, so that's fine. They're probably not going to buy Tribe. Camp number two is I don't get it. I didn't get much out of this. I already knew all this stuff. Or wow, I don't know. Like that's gonna be some people are just they're not gonna resonate with Stu. Like we all resonate with them. Like clearly we're here because we think it's awesome. But some people, man, when Stu gets on there and goes, "Well, hello there," they're like, "This guy's a tool bag." Like like that's and he's cool with that, right? We all understand that we're going to not attract some people. I don't attract people who can't handle the fact that every now and again, I don't know if you notice, but I'll go off in a really different direction, like a rabbit trail, and end up over here when I'm supposed to be here. And my audience is like, that's cool, right? So those are the first two camps. The third camp is they're going, oh my gosh, this was so amazing. I've done an FML. I've actually made some money. I love this community. They're so helpful. Like there's like Courtney in the group and Christine's in the group, and and oh my gosh, like everybody's been so helpful. Stu's amazing. He's the most amazing person on the face of the earth. And man, there's only one more day left. What's next? I'm gonna kind of feel lonely. And I'm being dead serious when I say that. Like that is a real thing that we have found. If you've ever gone to a conference, the next day kind of sometimes sucks because it's like there's a letdown, and I feel like, oh man, I want to be back at the conference. Like I had to go back to now I got to go hang around all these people that I don't even like in the real world. Like that's what Jeff Walker talks about in the real world and rim world, right? If you've ever heard that, I don't want to do that. And so they're going, what's next? Those are the people that we now start to work on, and we start to focus in on. And we don't have to do it with abandoning those other people. The other people just abandon themselves. The other people will leave your Facebook group. They will opt out of the emails. Cool. I actually love it when people do that. I actively encourage people in my very first email. Speaking of rabbit trails, this is a rabbit trail. The very first email that I send out about Tribe, I think it's like the second paragraph. I say, if you don't want to build recurring revenue and have no interest in starting a membership site, click this link. I make it so easy for them to opt out of the emails about Tribe Workshop and Tribe. And I'm super happy when 3% of my list clicks that link, because now I know that the remaining 97%, I can go all out talking about Tribe. So brainstorm some stuff for the engagement strategy. The next thing is your content strategy. I didn't have a lot of notes here because I'll tell you this. One of the biggest things I see, this is why literally all you see is a box that says my content channels. I just want you to make a list of all your content channels. So podcast, Facebook, Instagram, I think I said Facebook already, blog, Facebook Lives. I would say those are kind of separate from just, Facebook posts, Pinterest, whatever. I mean, I don't need to name every network. Then I almost started to again. As I thought of more. Think about all your content channels. Just use all of them. We're not going to talk about the whole strategy here. Just use all of them. Put an ad in your podcast. Do a segment of your podcast. Think about, this is the big thing. Let me see if I can pull it up. If you think about what you need to start talking about now or next week or the week after, the first week of April, the second week of April, whatever, leading into that big push in April 15th, what are the ways that we can start to warm our audience up? And so I can tell you right now, for us, we have an offer coming out. We're going to be pushing people to our membership site in a couple of days. Not a couple of days. When is that? 27th and 28th of March. They're going to see the word membership. Just planting a little seed. So that's like the first little shot across the bow, so to speak, the first salvo, right? Then we actually have our own promotion, so we're not going to really talk about Tribe at all through April 8th. But then we start talking about little things like, I'm going to quote Stu we got some social media posts where we're going to talk about Stu. Most of those have nothing. I'm looking at the list. They have nothing to do with memberships or anything. It's just putting Stu in front of my audience. And then I have a podcast scheduled right before where I talk about, this whole thing about meeting with Stu. I got on had a phone conversation one day, I don't know, some number of years ago, and it helped me do this, this, and this. That actually has nothing to do with membership sites, but it positions Stu as an expert, as a coach, as somebody who can help your business. And then I have, this whole, so like our Facebook Live, 2 weeks before, I'm going to be talking about kind of the launch roller coaster. And then the following week, I'm talking about evergreen affiliate strategies. And so I'm going to tie that into recurring revenue. These have nothing to do with Tribe Workshop. I'm just going to subtly start mentioning Stu and memberships and things like that. And then when we start hitting the ground running there on April, so we have a promo that runs through April 16th. So we won't be able to do anything until April 18th. On April 18th, it's going to be like, go register for the workshop, go register for the workshop, go register for the workshop. But my podcast on the April 20th is all about membership sites. Podcast on April 23rd is all about membership sites. And go register for the workshop. The Facebook Live on April 22nd, we are actually doing that after the workshop ends, and the whole thing is just going to be our takeaways from that day and go register for the workshop. So you start thinking like, just list all your content channels, and then, okay, what am I going to do on those? I'm going to do 3 Pinterest. I don't know how often you should post to Pinterest, because I don't know the first thing about Pinterest. But I'm going to do 3 posts about that. Or is that something you can post to 12 times a day? I don't know. I'm going to schedule 5 tweets a day, because Twitter is totally something. If you did 5 a day, the reality is less than 5% of your audience is going to see, any one of the 5. That's what the numbers show. But I'm going to do 5 or 6 tweets a day, spaced out. I'm going to do a Facebook post every other day. I'm going to start sending email on this day. I'm going to work this into my podcast. And just make a list of your content channels and then do it. That's the big thing, promoting the workshop. And then lastly, paid ads. this is something not everybody can do. Like I remember when I first started out, so circa 2005, um, I couldn't do paid ads to an affiliate promotion because I didn't have any money. That was the hard part of that. Um, but if you got a little bit of money and you want to run some paid ads, who do you target? The easiest people to target, if you have promoted in the past and you've sold any of Tribe, create a lookalike audience of buyers. That's actually probably the second group I would do. The first group I would target is people in my audience. And it might be people within a segment. Maybe you have a segment of people that you think would be better equipped for for Tribe. I would target those people. Literally, you just download your email list, download that segment list, upload them to Facebook. A lot of the times they don't match. Like I have a separate like I will never get targeted for being on someone's list. I didn't do this on purpose. I actually did it for a different reason. My email address that I use on Facebook, I don't use anywhere else. Like I will never opt into anything using it. There's a whole different reason for that. So, so you can't target me on Facebook in that way, but most people, they have one or two email addresses and it's probably the one they use on Facebook. I would say 70, 80% of the people. So target your own people. That's number one. And then target lookalikes of people who bought Tribe in the past or have attended the workshop in the past. If you know those people, that would be who to target. Secondly, the big thing is based on the numbers. So you can do the math on this. Last year, I'm going to go with round numbers. We closed about 6% of leads. So people who registered for the webinar or for the workshop, we got about 6% of them into a sale. So I'm going to do the quick math. Your affiliate commissions are 70, 98, 80, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm going to multiply those by 6%. That means that you could spend $47.93 and break even on your ads. $47.93 per opt-in. Now, that said, we closed just over 6%, but that's 6% of all leads. So cold traffic, Facebook ads, the leads are going to convert less. So let's divide that 47 in half. Now we're down to, we'll just call it 24. From there, I don't really want to run ads and not make any money. So I want to make at least 100% profit margin. So we're going to divide by 2 again, and we're at about 12 bucks. And then I just like round, nice round, super easy numbers. So I would not spend more than $10 per lead to run them profitably. I don't think you need to spend anywhere close to that to get some seriously good traffic through Facebook. So again, I'm not suggesting if you don't have the money that you go out and go into debt to run ads. But if you've got the money and you're wanting to compete, you're wanting to do some, get a few, extra 100 people, then definitely consider running ads. And again, $10 CPA is going to probably be about as high as I would personally go. We've run them in the past, and I don't think we spent more than $350 a lead. I mean, we didn't spend that much money at all. I actually last year I kept trying to give Facebook more money, and I couldn't spend it because we were targeting our audience plus a lookalike of our past buyers, and that's what we'll do this year. Like we'll run them to my audience, and we have about 300-400 past buyers now, so we got a pretty good lookalike list. That's it. That's the only people we're going to run them to. And I doubt that we could spend more than last year. They were really cheap, admittedly, because a lot of people shut their spending down, because of the pandemic. That's back up. I still don't think we'll spend more than $525, $550 a lead on the very high end. Probably get it under 5. That's kind of our goal, is to keep it under 5. So then if we convert even 1% of those people, you do the math. If you convert 1%, I can do that easy math. That's $500 per sale, and we're making $800. That's a $300 profit. We'll probably convert at least 2%, so that's a pretty substantial profit. What we'll make even spending $5 a lead. So then you do the crazy math. Well, what if I spend $10 a lead and only convert 2%? Well, then I'm going to spend $500 and make $798.80. I mean, Fortune 500 companies make it on 2 and 3% margins. So, wow, what a powerful bonus lesson there. So I hope you found value in me including this. Again, it's a little bit of a different episode, but if you've ever struggled with, like, how do you grow your list before a big promotion? How do you grow your list while promoting, other people's products? Or how do you warm your audience up? How do you get those lists of like really active buyers? These opt-in bonuses are kind of the secret weapon. And when you nail this, you don't just build your list, you actually start building momentum for for the launch. So if you want one of our highest converting emails for the launch, by the way, the one we use to close sales at midnight on Cart Close Day, I mentioned this in the last episode, just text the word midnight to 260-217-4619. One of the best emails that we have ever used in all of our promotions. We use it, probably 2 or 3 times a year, and it works every single time. As always, you can text me at that number, 260-217-4619. Anytime if you got questions or need anything, or have ideas for, episodes for the show. And lastly, if you are not subscribed yet, make sure you are so you don't miss the rest of this series. We've got some incredible affiliate interviews coming up where they share exactly what they did to truly outperform past performance, expected performance, and a bunch of other affiliates. There are so many ideas you can steal from these interviews. So make sure you are subscribed if you're not already, and I will see you in those next 4 episodes. Thank you so much for listening today. If you know someone who would benefit from hearing this episode, make sure to share it with them. And if you have a question, you can ask it at asktheaffiliateguy.com. Questions make my best episode, and it's a great way to get featured right here on the podcast. And if you're loving what you're hearing, please take a moment to leave a rating and review. That helps others find this content so we can all benefit from it. See you soon.